Oh, sorry. Hello. Thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. I am Lisa. This is definitely live. This is not a vegetable. Can you hear it? But it is one of my most favorite kitchen utensils, and I'm going to use it today to make some. I gotta find a place to put it down where I don't hurt anybody. Some creamy potato and fennel soup with green herbs. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. But before I get started cooking, please let me know that you're here, that you can see me, that you can hear me, even if you're watching the replay. Type in the comments, say hi, and I'd be happy to bring you on screen for anybody who requests that. Oh, seriously. Hi, Rob. Thanks for tuning in. Okay, so why did I do air quotes around creamy? Because this is a plant-based show, and I'm going to show you a dairy-free, creamy potato and fennel soup with green herbs. Shall we get to cooking? You know, I love this recipe for so many reasons. One reason is I just like to prove that, you know what, potatoes do not make you fat. They are really nutritious. Yes, I know they're the C word, they're a carb, but they have so much nutrient value, and they also have fiber, which slows that blood sugar roll. So do not be afraid of potatoes, my friends. Another reason I like to make this recipe is to show I love soup all year round. Like, you don't need to stop eating soup just because it's summer, but we can lighten the soup up for summer, which is exactly what I'm going to do and exactly what I want you to do in my summer reset, which is open for registration. Banish the bloat and energize to lighten up for summer. Yes, Heather, hello. It's great to have you on the show. Potatoes indeed. And guess what? This is a reset friendly recipe, Heather. Hi, Susan. Did you plant any potatoes in your garden this year? Yes. Anyway, registration is now open. Check out the link. I'll post it in the comments. You can sign up, get all the information for my summer reset, as well as download a brand new summer recipe packet for free. Okay, even if you don't want to do the cleanse, but I hope you do. Okay, anyway, I'm getting so excited. I need to get to cooking. So we are indeed going to make creamy potato and fennel soup. So let me show you what I've already got going here in my beautiful red soup pot. I'm sauteing my aromatics, and that's a fancy French word for things that smell good when you saute them. Susan, you planted potatoes in your garden. Have you harvested any yet? I harvested one teeny weeny little purple one that Rob ate. Anyway, so in my pot, I'm using avocado oil these days to saute in. You can use olive oil. Oils are confusing. Just do the best that you can. Let me know if you have any questions about that. But I've got shallots. You could use onions. Leeks would be really good. Whatever's in your supermarket or your farmer's market or your garden. So I did shallots today because that's what I had, and I like their milder flavor. I've also got some garlic, not too much, because this is one of the ways we can lighten this recipe up for summer, is to cut back on some of the really strong heating things in it, like garlic. I also have a little bit of fresh ginger. Now in the winter, I would probably use more ginger and more fresh garlic because, again, those are heating foods. Sauteed all of that. Oh, I better turn it on. Now look at these potatoes. Aren't they gorgeous? My potatoes aren't quite ready yet, but we got these at the store. They're new potatoes, and that is just a fancy way to say that they're small. So I'm going to toss my potatoes in, and let me throw these guys in here too. These had actually we had these on the cupboard for a little bit, and Rob was like, are they turning green? Because, I guess when they sprout that, oh yeah, like that, I might cut that off. I'm sure in small quantities that's not bad, but when they sprout in large quantities, that's actually poisonous. Poor Alexander Supertramp. He ate too many of them, didn't he? Okay, anyway, potatoes in the pot. Oh, Skippy, ginger makes you sweat like crazy. You found that out by putting ginger in your smoothie? Yeah, ginger is a heating food. So it might make you sweat like crazy, which is great if you want to sweat. But if you're already hot, you probably don't need to get any hotter, right? Okay, potatoes. Get rid of that sprout. Aromatics in the pot. I'm going to stir that all up. And then I want to get to my fennel. Now, I've already kind of chopped at this guy, but if you have not cooked with fennel, I highly recommend that you grab a bulb. It is a cooling food, so it will help balance out some of that fresh ginger that I put in there, and I didn't put very much in. It's great raw, it's great shredded and sliced thinly in a salad. It's also really great roasted, and it is great in this soup. I'm going to leave these little green things on. The green tops are very reminiscent of dill, and you can use them like an herb. You could put them in a soup, but I already cut them up and used them in something else. Okay, so you can see I've already started. I'm going to put quite a goodly amount of my fennel in here, and you can just cut this into chunks. We're going to cook all of these down until they're tender and then puree it so it doesn't really matter. Up, fennel runaways. Okay, so I would stir that all up. This is probably where I would add a little bit of sea salt. Sea salt is a whole food. You can use pink Himalayan, you can use Celtic salt. Sometimes my cousin Mildred from Wales is on, and I always like to throw out Welsh Celtic sea salt, Welsh sea salt. Remember, we get our excess sodium from convenience food and processed foods, not from your home cooking, unless you're dumping it in. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Just like that. I could just get a fork and dig right in, but I'm not going to because I want to cook it. Now, sometimes you need broth for recipes. I don't think you need it for this one. I just use water. So I'll toss that in too. And then here is the creamy part. Now, in the winter, I would probably use canned coconut milk, but since it's summer and I'm wanting to lighten my soup up for summer, I have some homemade cashew milk here. If you don't make your own nut milk, no worries. You could use a can of coconut milk. You could use some unsweetened almond milk, unsweetened soy milk. Just make sure it's unsweetened. And remember, this is one of the things that we cover in my reset program. Non-dairy milks are some of the worst offenders for hidden sugars, hidden gummy, gunky, junky things. Skippy, we didn't have any of those at the coffee shop, did we, back in the day? So some kind of unsweetened, I recommend non-dairy milk. You know, the other thing about coconut, I hate to be the bearer of kind of grouchy news, but all that business about coconut milk being really good for you and all that fat, it's just really, it's saturated fat. I think there's more, there's more, maybe 14 grams of saturated fat per tablespoon of coconut oil. There's like more saturated fat in coconut oil than there is in butter. What does that tell you? Okay, anyway, so simple, maybe a little bit of freshly ground pepper. And then I'm going to set this aside and show you the one I already started. Yes, friends, this is, that's kind of hot. This is what we call a swap in the TV industry. Skip says there was no bad stuff at the coffee shop where he worked, and I baked some pastries. I won't read the rest of what you said, Skippy. Okay, here we go. Wow, I made this ahead of time. Look at this. So beautiful. Oh, can you see the way the potatoes got all soft? Oh gosh, and my shallots are really tender in there, and there's a big piece of fennel that's nice and tender. Oh my gosh. I love this soup so much, you guys. I'm not kidding. Okay, now here comes the fun part. Oh, here comes the fun part. My favorite, one of my favorite. I have a lot of favorite kitchen appliances. Kitchen appliance, an immersion blender. Now, if you don't have an immersion blender, you could do this in batches in your regular blender. You could use a Vitamix, or you could simply leave it chunky. That cord is kind of all messed up, isn't it? And I don't really like my soups to be like, you know, baby food or anything. So I like to leave some chunks in there. And if you're just joining us, thank you for being here. We're making creamy, non-dairy potato fennel soup with spring green herbs. Actually, I guess it's summer and I need to change. You know, you can really throw anything that you want in this soup. And remember that things that grow together, oh, I'm going to need that again, tend to go together. So you can go out into your garden. You can go to the farmer's market. Celery would be good in this. Now, as far as the green herbs, I'm going to really get a little wacky. I had some nettles in my fridge that need to be used. Hi, Virginia. And that's what I'm going to use for my green herbs. But you could use parsley. You could use cilantro if you still have some of that. Dill would be really good with the fennel and with the potatoes. And then I'm just going to throw it in. Look at these. Oh, actually, I forgot. I have to get these out for my, don't get scared. This is for my nettles because nettles are no joke. They are called stinging nettles for a reason. And I don't know if you'll be able to see. I washed them pretty good. Can you see the little prickers on there? Maybe not. Anyway, this does not have to be nettles because I know you all won't have access to them. But if you do, they're fun. If you don't, any green herb will be great. And then I like to just use the immersion blender with no matter what kind of herb I'm tossing in, because look at that. Isn't that pretty? You can see the flecks. You know, you could do spinach. I wouldn't do anything else too strong. You could do kale, but you know what? That's something different. Kale gets enough play anyway, don't you think? Okay. So, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. This is one of my favorite things to make. And again, I love soup all year round. Let me show you what this is going to look like here, or what it does look like. Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. This is lunchtime. You didn't think I did this over lunchtime by accident, did you? Look at that. All of those beautiful, beautiful flecks of green. There's some chunks of potato. That's okay. Oh, I love the bright green color. So you don't need to cook your herbs or any green that you're adding. And can you even imagine that this is reset friendly? Completely 100%. Yeah. Skip. All right. Let us give that a little freshly ground black pepper. And because I'm very into sprouts, actually, you know what? You could even put some sprouts in that and it up. I'm going to put some sprouts on the top for effect. And then I'm going to turn you up here and give it a taste. Oh my gosh. Creamy potato and fennel soup with green herbs. Skip asks, how long are the nettles safe to eat after cooking? You know what? That's a really good question. I guess I don't know. I didn't think about that. No, just kidding. I didn't think about that. I think the heat from the soup, because it was boiling, probably you would want to stir the nettles in. You don't want to eat them raw because they actually do sting you. Yeah, great question, Skip. I'll have to look into that a little bit closer. Not be quite so cavalier, but so far so good. And just to prove it, I'll eat a big chunk. Amazing. By the way, I know I'm getting a little sidetracked because there's so much awesome stuff. Nettles are really good for you. If you don't have them fresh, they're great as a supplement. They help with allergies. They're really helpful. Okay, anyway, the soup is actually absolutely very delicious. Don't be afraid of potatoes. They don't make you fat. Find some fennel if you've never cooked with it before. Check out my Banish the Bloat and Energize registration. I'll put the link in the comments. And even if you don't really want to do the cleanse, oh, it's a reset this year, sorry. Go to the site and download your free summer recipes. Thank you for joining me for Veg with Lisa Live. Happy summer.